let's have a look at the film. The show was filmed down south somewhere, but looking at this, it might as well be Didsbury in Manchester, because the environment is exactly the place that I arrived at. If you look at the building even, and you took away the obvious sign here, there's a sign that they've obviously just put over the top. We now go into this building and you enter pandemonium all around. There's no one expecting this young person. She's totally exposed to everyone. You have to do this short, terrifying walk. There's nowhere to hide. If we carry on, you'll see that what we do next is we track down a member of staff. He's in a mid-argument with a resident. Now, looking at this through adults' eyes, you can see that he quickly acknowledges the young girl, and then he goes off to find someone else to deal with her, as if she's kind of an inconvenience. And as he does so, he continues trading insults with one of the young boys. If I'm that young girl, I'm thinking, that boy there being insulted by a member of staff is me next week. The young boy shouting at the staff and giving them abuse is me next week. That's all subliminal, but then we find a manager, and the manager clearly takes the young girl up to a room. Now, this looks very sterile, and I've seen tons of stuff on social media now where staff have produced, beautiful rooms to welcome kids. And like I said, this little film is it either serves as a reminder of how far we've come or of how far we need to go. As an adult, I can see this well-meaning member of staff explaining some of the reasons that this girl should actually be afraid. Rules get broken. Be careful what you leave in your room. And finally, she also explains, in my view, if you want to take drugs or smoke, you can do that, as long as it's outside of here, because we can't stop you doing that.
This room is your space, and it's private to you. That is dead important. But rules, they get broken, things get nicked, so just be very careful what you leave in here. All right? Now then, drugs, alcohol, smoking is banned. You'll see other kids smoking outside and we can't stop it, but there is absolutely no smoking in the house. Understood?
There we go. That is the most horrific 90 seconds of TV drama ever produced. It turned a fully grown adult like me into a gibbering wreck. And we're talking about a long, long time after I left care. We're talking about someone who went off and got off with his life, and someone who had no kind of mental health issues or any of that. It just went boom, out of me. So what do we take from that? I read a business book some time ago that said, if you come into a meeting with a problem, bring at least 3 possible answers to the problem. And I think that's a wonderful piece of advice. I hope that I've come to this podcast today with at least one answer, because having been a worker in a residential unit, having spent time in the unit, I spent time as a member of staff in the unit I went to as a child on the occasion I'm describing to you right now. But I also know that things can get pretty busy and we spend a lot of time fighting fires. I humbly offer what I call an admissions audit sheet. It's a kind of set of questions that one of the staff or a manager can take a breath, step back and look at this whole process through the eyes of the young person who has turned up to live with us. Now, everything I say from this point on is with the utmost respect for what you guys do and the pressure you're under. But I've seldom find staff who don't want to consider just a sliver of improvement. So, as usual, the audit sheet itself is around here somewhere. It's a click and grab type thing. There's no email or any of that kind of thing. So I'll make that available to you. Again, it's interactive. You can type into it, keep it, send it to your manager. Let's look at this very, very